it's Kelly from Cards by Christine and the Sunshine Stamping Co. here with you this Thursday morning. We've made it to Paper Pumpkin yet again. I don't know how this happens month after month, but it's already time. We're knocking at the end of March. I have an embarrassing story. I hope you're here for it. What is it, March 26th today? Something like that. So I turned my calendar so late this month. It was probably about a week ago, maybe a few days less than a week ago. I missed, by a long shot, my friend's birthday. So Laura and I have been friends since college. We met my freshman year of college. We were on the cheerleading team together. And we hit it off. We ended up being roommates, and we were good friends through the whole experience of college. She was a year older than me. She stood up in my wedding. I stood up in her wedding. We're good friends. And her birthday was March 13th. And I am just not on top of time. Time is on top of me. And I, turned the calendar 2/3 of the way through March, and I had missed her birthday by over a week. My brain just does not have the computing power that it once did to remember things on its own. And so I felt absolutely terrible. So there you go. But somehow here we are at the end of March, and I just turned the calendar a few days ago. So anyways, I hope you are doing a little better than I am. But hello to Holly, Susan, Feline, Julie, and Mary. Mary likes my shirt. Here, let's get it. I made it myself, and I love it. I try to remember to wear it on my live days. And I have in-person class tonight as well. So I have my second ever ink, paper, scissors class in person tonight for the Cute as a Bug class. Very excited for that. However, it makes for a long day. So I have class at 9 o'clock in the morning for Paper Pumpkin. I got here about 8:30, and I picked my kids up tonight around 8:30 tonight. So it is a long day. So it is what it is. Gotta love it. Enjoy, obviously, being with my crafting community. It is what I live for. So, woohoo! Hello to Mary as well. Absolutely, Julie. So now it is time to make a belated birthday card, and she was so understanding. Like, I very much appreciate not having ridicule for forgetting, but still feel really bad. So, all right. So today we are here for Paper Pumpkin. We have the Fluttering Garden Paper Pumpkin class. And this was the class that had to do with I keep wanting to say dragonflies. They're not dragonflies. I also, in designing, was referencing them as birds. I mean, yes, they are birds, but they're hummingbirds. So this is the hummingbirds. Yay! Mary Lemke was here last month for ink, paper, scissors. It was a really great time. I don't know. I want to say I was nervous. I don't have the capacity to have time for big emotions like that. So, I was nervous, but I wasn't, because I really have a go with the flow, it is what it is, it'll be what it'll be kind of mentality until I can, get back on top of things. But it did go really, really well, and I am looking forward to tonight as well. Without the wonderful Mary Lemke, though. I mean, if you got in your car now, you might make it in time. Just kidding. Yes, so everyone who's watching, if you could give it a thumbs up, a share, a like, and commenting, obviously, I appreciate that. It's very entertaining to be able to engage with you guys, so thank you for being here. This month marks a turn. I have been doing Paper Pumpkin Live for, I'm not quite sure, I really, really should look it up, but I want to say maybe about 4 years. And I am on the cusp of trying to do things differently. So I am just under halfway to earning Costa Rica, and I have just over half of the year to go. So I'm tracking, but I have a lot of work yet to earn it. So my goal is to be offering classes, and one of those classes is this Paper Pumpkin altered and edited class. Now, we gave a preview of this style of class with the December Paper Pumpkin kit, and my goal is to try to do this monthly. Another thing, so I do have goals, and I'm achieving some, and I'm very, very far from achieving others, but one of my other goals is to have 100 Paper Pumpkin subscribers. That is a way, I'm prayerful that the community will rally around me with that, and obviously I'm seeking new subscribers as well. I have, my cousin was not Chris is also my cousin, but our cousin, was my first actual Paper Pumpkin subscriber. So, looking to just build on that number. Now, I have fun things in store for my Paper Pumpkin subscribers. And so I know a lot of y'all are demonstrators and would maybe naturally order them from your own account, but it is a small way that you could support me, my business, and my goals if you are looking to partake in Paper Pumpkin, to buy them from me as a way to kind of bolster and give my business a kickstart. So consider, you don't have to, but there's something. And then also, I am going to, on a monthly basis, go ahead and make this altered and edited class. I'm very excited for it. We'll talk about it in just a minute, but we are also today going to be doing the actual Paper Pumpkin class. Now, how that's going to look differently these months moving forward is we're going to do one of each of the Paper Pumpkin cards. Typically, we're getting 3 cards, like 3 each of 3 card designs is the best way to say that. So we'll be doing one of each of the designs, and that is all the same. However, at the end of this video, we're not going to live make an alternative because Chris and I, our goal is to have the alternative cards designed to show off for the Paper Pumpkin class. So I've got them. Chris may have shown them in some of the lives. We finished them this past weekend, I think. There's been a lot of card designing, so I cannot keep up with when and where and why and how everything's all happening. But so I will unveil the 4 alternative designs that we came up with. They are amazing. We're also going to intend to have this as a monthly fun fold class. So we cannot guarantee that they're always all going to be fun folds, but the goal is to make at least several of them be fun folds. So very exciting. So that is a couple of like the ways that it's going to change. So yes, we're still getting an alternative, and even this, with this structure, you're going to be getting multiple alternatives. So that's very fun and exciting. They just won't be done live, and then we'll have a class later. So like I got all of the supplies ordered. We have a pre-registration link out there, and then of course we will have registration being formally taken with the April class for the March Paper Pumpkin. That's where it gets a little confusing, but for this class, and I'm really, really hopeful that this is a very well received class, and between this class and Paper Pumpkin subscriptions, that I can start to accelerate my success towards Costa Rica. I knew I was not going to just like get out of the gates, and you know, Chris earned Costa Rica in a month, which is incredible, and she deserves every bit of it. But I don't like the feeling of, all right, I'm tracking to get it like just in time. I'd like to like lock it in a little before, but it is what it is. I have faith in the process, and I do believe that I can do it. So yes. Also, Winnie the Pooh is in our suite in May. So I should say, the Winnie the Pooh suite is in the online exclusives in May. So that's another class that I am going to be offering. I'm actually going to be offering 2 classes. We're going to be doing a Stamp-a-Stack class and a bundle class. So very excited about that. That also is on order. Cannot wait for that to be received. So those are 2 other bonus classes that I'll be doing. One in May and one in June. So stay tuned. Lots of fun and exciting things happening. So hello to Feline and Marcia as well. Thank you guys so much for joining. Ooh, I love the idea to have a set to do with your granddaughter. That is so fun. What a great idea, Feline. So without further ado, I talked more than I normally talk, so sorry if that was like, meh. Fluttering Garden. So I guess here's one more difference. To design the cards prior to Paper Pumpkin Live, we had to open the kit. So like, this is a partial kit at this point because some of the things are taken out of it. But here we have, oh, bummer. Okay, just kidding. I was like, where did all my stuff go? It was under the cardboard. Okay, woohoo! Julie is excited. Look at all of those hearts. Oh my gosh. You guys, this feels really good. Wow. I'm excited. All right, so we are doing the Fluttering Garden class. Now, this is, like I discussed, Paper Pumpkin typically is 3 each of 3 different card designs. So here we have those cards on display. And then this month we have 2 stamp sets. So it's a bonus stamp set month, which includes, we also have basic gray. Yes, good question, Feline. Yes, the Stamp-a-Stack and the Sweet Bundle type style class will be offered with Cards by Christine. So we'll do it right here on the channel, and you'll just add them onto the respective month's registration form that Chris sends out. So yay, very exciting. So Fluttering Garden is the name of the Paper Pumpkin kit. So I would say technically this is the stamp set that comes with the Paper Pumpkin. So these are the stamps that we will use in the cards. But we also have a bonus this month, the Fluttering Hummingbird stamp set, which includes 2 hummingbirds, a couple of sentiments, and then a stippling and a teeny tiny little flower. So very pretty stamp artwork. Excited about that. We utilized both of the sets in the alternative cards, and you'll see them at the end of this class. But, so usually I sit here and we go ahead and sort out all of the supplies. But because we are only doing 1 of each of the cards, and I have already consumed the other materials, we have just a little bit less to go through in here. So we have, let's get all of the supplies out. All right. So in terms of supplies, you will receive in your box, and actually I should give a little disclaimer. So we've done this differently. Obviously, the first time we ever did this was in December, well, for the December Paper Pumpkin kit. And that was the Watercolor and Blooms. If you don't recall, it was very bluish greeny with a lot of like watercolor or like hand painted looks. How we designed that class was that you made 1 of each of the cards per Paper Pumpkin. So just took it out of the box, you made them. Then the add-on kit included card kits for the remaining 6 cards. So you'll use those 2 sets of 3 You'll use those pieces plus the kit that I added on to make your cards. Now, this kit we have done a little differently. So the cards that we are about to make with the paper pumpkin kit they're very like neutral, and we were envisioning something more bright and colorful. So we decided, hey, let's give the people a choice. We love autonomy. You can either choose to do it exactly the December way, so you make one of each of these cards as is, and then you make the additional cards, or you can take your paper pumpkin box, put it aside, and say, hey, I'm waiting for the alternatives. Not gonna lie, the alternatives are very good. And you can make all of the paper pumpkin into the fun folds. So there will be 2 different options and 2 different price points, whether you want to make 2 kits or 3 kits. So like 2 sets or 3 sets. I think once this is made, it'll be a little easier to understand. So before you dive in and start making these kits, you might want to decide whether you want to utilize the paper pumpkin supplies for the cards as is, or whether you're going to make them as fun folds. Because spoiler alert, it's I think only like $5 more to do the full kit and get all of the fun folds. But that's up to you. Okay, so you've got 9 printed envelopes. So these beautiful pool party envelopes with white flowers on them. And then we've got 3 different card bases, but they're not different. So that was maybe not the right way to describe it. So you've got one card base that has just this gray and white texture on it with a circle printed on it. And then you've got 2 other card bases that are just the gray and white texture. Okay, so those are all of your card bases. You will get 3 of each of these. Now, to make the cards, we're going to take all of these laser cut pieces. You get 3 full sheets of each of these, and we're going to distribute them. So on the card with a circle on it, so this is the only one that's different, you're going to take the largest hummingbird, and then you also need the Have a Mother's Day and the Beautiful. There are no ribbon. There is no ribbon with this kit, but the kit includes dimensionals and these beautiful, I love these embellishments so much. So they're the gold and clear like epoxy dots. I don't exactly know what they're called, but these are in the catalog, so I love these embellishments so much. Sometimes I get sad when Paper Pumpkin has like these amazingly cool embellishments that are not available for purchase. So I'm really glad that these are just part of our normal lineup. Then for the next card, we're taking the Thank You, and then the 3 blue-ish birds. Oh, come on. And then the final card should be the remainder of all of these pieces. Oh, I did forget one thing. I was going to say, this little banner, this actually goes on the first card. Okay, then I'm so grateful for you. Goes with the final 2 birds. Okay, so there are there are our stacks of supplies. You can pull those off to the side. And then to get started, we are jumping right in with the first card, which is the one with the circle on it. So you can, if you are making the cards per Paper Pumpkin's instructions, you can fold that over. And then right off the bat, we're stamping. So again, the stamp set with the, not dragonflies, with the hummingbirds is not utilized in the kit. So let's grab the other stamp set. We're taking this big, beautiful floral piece. And then let's get that mounted on a block. Now, Chris and I were experimenting. It's like this stamp either just fits or barely fits on the D block. I think if you turn it in such a way, it does just fit, but it is, in some people's frame of reference, I would say it's a little close for comfort. So you can always grab your next biggest block if it is a little uncomfortable for you. Okay, so then we are just going to stamp this image twice around the circle. So now where there's a little intersection point, down here there's going to be a hummingbird, and up there is going to be a hummingbird. So we really want this area to be where the opening is. Spoiler alert, I struggled with that the first time I did this, so I'm going to do better this time. Also, it didn't totally matter, but I felt silly because I'm supposed to be the quote-unquote pro. Haha. Little did they know. Okay, then we are going to take and just rotate it and line it up on the other half of the circle. So, perfect. Uh-oh. Okay, we can clean off our stamp. And then take it off the block. Now, the next thing that we have going on is adhering all of the pieces with dimensionals. Oh my goodness. I grabbed the wrong pile. Haha. I should say I actually put the wrong pieces on the wrong piles. So the circle card gets the circle, I'm so grateful for you, and the two little birds. The last pile is the one with Have a Beautiful Mother's Day. So my bad on that. Okay. Flipping over the pieces, we are grabbing our dimensionals. We've got 3 dimensionals on the back of the sentiment, and then 2 dimensionals on the back of each of the hummingbirds. And then I see a rogue dimensional, and I don't know exactly what that's for. I'm guessing that is potentially just a misprint. But if somebody, as we're going through this, is like, hey, no, you gotta use that dimensional for this, you just let me know. Okay, so the sentiment, I'm so grateful for you, that goes hovering right over the stamped image. Good golly, I forgot to take off the rest of the dimensional backs. Remember when I said my brain just isn't quite running on all cylinders? That would be an example. Okay. Then we have our little hummingbird friend down here. And then we have our hummingbird up here. Okay. Now we have our embellishments, and we are using 5 embellishments. So we're going to put, oh no. Still getting used to having shorter nails again. Got it without its back. Okay, so we're going to put a big and a small down here. And then we're going to put Thank you so much for tuning in, Feline. I'm glad to hear that you're looking forward to the alternative. I cannot wait. I hope you've seen them. Otherwise, yes, you'll see them shortly when you tune back in. I hope you're feeling better. Ah, okay, did I miss the adhesive again? Okay, then we've got 3 going up top. I guess we'll move this one down. So, here is card number 1, quick and easy. Then we'll bring in card number 2. Uh-oh, we're stuck together. Okay, card number 2 is the one that I had the butterflies. The butterflies. I keep wanting, okay, that's what it is. I keep wanting to say butterflies, not birds. They're not butterflies. They are hummingbirds. Butterflies and dragonflies. That's what I've been struggling to differentiate between. All right. So, card base. Now, on this card base, oh, I did need that stamp yet. Oh, silly willy. Okay, so we are stamping a lot on this one, and I am just loving it. These stamps are so, so pretty. Okay, so we'll bring the gray back in. Oh, no, I see, Feline. You're saying you're getting the spinny circles. Not, I thought you, so I glanced over and I thought you said something was happening, like maybe that your eyes were bothering you. I'm sorry, we're having internet not so great issues. Okay, so we are stamping up top. In the middle. Okay, then we are going to grab the next filigree looking stamp. This one's more loopy, loopy-doopy. And then we'll stamp that in the mid-bottom left and mid-upper top. Huh. You know what? I'm seeing something I didn't see before. Okay, so this is actually going to be turned sideways. And then this is going to nestle right up here. Okay, now what is not listed on the instructions, so I struggle, I'm not gonna lie, I struggle to get my stamps to look like their stamps. If you do too, do not dismay. But you can see here that is a stamp that we have in our stamp set that goes right in there. So I don't have as much room for it as they maybe did. I think they stamped everything over just a little bit more. But alas, there is a big hole that you want to fill. So go ahead and clean up your stamp. And then mount that stamp to fill in the space. Something like that. Okay. Now again, depending on how you stamped your placement of your hummingbirds might be a little different. I can tell you every time I've made these cards now, they have been different, but it's a-okay. I am also going to buck the instructions just a little bit. So we've got this Have a Beautiful Mother's Day, and then there's this little banner behind it, and it shows dimensionals behind the banner, but that's too much for me to have this on dimensionals, then this on dimensionals, then this on dimensionals. Plus that would a little bit, in my opinion, interfere with the hummingbird. So I'm just gonna glue this piece down. I know it doesn't include glue, and that's, I'm guessing, why they have it on dimensionals, but that's just too much for me. So I'm gonna flip these 3 pieces over and put dimensionals on the back of those pieces. And then I'm just going to put some liquid glue behind. Okay, so first and foremost, I'm gonna commit. I'm just gonna stick it down, and I feel like it was the last time I did it, it was too long for under the hummingbird. So I'm gonna trim it down because it's going to be behind the hummingbird's body, so it doesn't need to be as long. I don't exactly know where this should go. I'm gonna put it there. And then center the sentiment on top of it. And then the beautiful goes on top of that. And then the hummingbird goes, not necessarily on top of that, but tucked over off to the side. Okay, so here's a little bit of a reference as to what I just did. So I lifted the hummingbird up maybe a little bit farther than I would have because I did trim it just a smidge too short. and I didn't want the little corner peeking out, but it also allowed me to show off more of the stamp, so it wasn't a bad thing per se. So I had cut maybe like 3/4 of an inch off of the banner. You might want to cut like 1/2 inch if you want to do that. Now, if I wouldn't have cut it off, it would have come out the butt of the hummingbird, so then I would have probably had to scoot it that way just a little bit. But anyways, we are now moving on to the embellishments. We've got a big and a little above the guy. Then we've got 2 bigs and a little behind the guy. So lots of embellishments in this kit, which I love. There-ish. Okay, card number 2. Last but certainly not least, we have card number 3. All right, card number 3, we are stamping the wildflowers along the bottom. You're going to stamp it 4 times. And you're going to try to make them straight, which I can tell you the first time I did it, I did my best, but they weren't straight. That's what I was afraid of. So the last time I did it, I also spaced them out a little bit, and you can maybe see that here. There is a little gap between each set of flowers, but I did not like that. So I'm going to have to stamp off of the edge here, just so that there's not a big gaping hole, which I mean is fine. There's no reason why you can't do that, but I did not like where it looked like there was a stamp and then a space and a stamp and a space and a stamp, and so I just wanted it to look like a continuous flowing flower. So if you do the same, you can do the same. Uh-oh. Okay, we are done stamping for this kit now. So we can put all of those supplies away. Now we are down to dimensionals. So we're going to do 2 dimensionals on the back of each of the hummingbirds and 2, 4, 6 dimensionals on the back of the thank you. All right, so hummingbirds. Then it's kind of just like putting together a puzzle. So first we're going to put the thank you down. And the thank you is going to go right in the center. And then we've got 3 different kinds of hummingbirds. You have, so I shouldn't have taken the backers off of this. This one goes relatively there. When I made my first set, I didn't like how this bird was like, it looked lost. It was facing away from the card. So I decided to move that one up here and this one down here, because now it looks like they're all flocking into the thank you, which I enjoyed more. So that's up to you, but that's what I did. And then I guess one more thing. I don't like this one not being attached to the thank you. It feels weird that the rest of them are and this one isn't. So then I'm just going to move this one in just a smidge. Let's see here, can I? Just like that. There's no right or wrong, but I seem to be finding all the wrong ways. Okay, when I had it like this, I liked how it was attached in all 3 of these spaces, but I didn't necessarily like that big opening, so I'm going to turn him just a little bit to fill in that opening. Okay, and now we also have 5 embellishments. So we have a big and a small kitty corner to the thank you. That's not gonna stick.
Hi.
Hello.
When did my appointment?
Sounds good.
I have these. You can show them off if you want.
Excellent. Oh, and photograph them, right?
And photograph. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the game.
Oh.
Create and play, right?
Excellent.
Yeah, so, you can tease people.
Wow.
Okay, so at 2:30, I'll be back.
Sounds good.
In a couple hours, 2.5 hours. Bye.
Bye-bye. Drive safe.
Have a good rest of your class.
Sounds good. Okay, so now we are done with the embellishments. So now we are done. So, oh no, I dropped something. What did I drop? Oh. I dropped glue dots, but I don't think the glue dots came from this class. So, we'll see. Okay, I have things to show off, but not yet. And we have kittens. Okay. So, that takes care of our paper pumpkin cards. I got done with the first set of them, and I had feelings. We make such beautiful things here, and the hummingbirds are so pretty and so bright and colorful that I was feeling like I wanted these cards to wow me more. That is part of what inspired our alternatives. Now, like I said, we have been planning to be doing these alternatives, so it's not like, you know, it's not like I was not feeling like doing these anyways, but what we ended up doing is we're going to play a game of this or that. So, I'm going to take all the cards away. I'm not going to be able to engage with you guys as we're doing this because of the delay and with some of the spinning that we had going on. The stream, I'm over a minute behind you. But still feel free to comment along if you have feelings. And thank you for staying tuned in, especially amongst the spinning circles of death. But do you like this? Which is the paper pumpkin card, or we utilized these supplies to make that. Here, I'll take these out of the way. So, this is alternative card number 1, using Old Olive and Petal Pink. We have a splash of vellum in here as well. For all of the cards in the alternative class, we did bring in ribbon. You are utilizing the embellishments from the kit, and then of course the pieces from the kit as well. We flipped this circle over to stamp hello on it, and then this has become a birthday card. Okay, so that is the alternative card number 1. All right, you ready for this or that number 2? We have our second card is, here is your this. Okay, so this is the card as we just made it in Paper Pumpkin class. And here is our that. So this card features Pretty Peacock as well as Petal Pink. So there's a little bit of Petal Pink in each of the hummingbirds, but each of the hummingbirds has a different color scheme, which was kind of fun. So the first set had Old Olive as the primary color. Like I said, they each had Petal Pink, and each of them seemed to have purple in them as well, or some purpley tones in them. But we stuck with the Petal Pink, and then whatever color was most accentuated on the hummingbird. So this one was our Pretty Peacock, and we used Pretty Peacock and Petal Pink, and then we have a flap that the hummingbird resides on. And instead of Have a Beautiful Mother's Day, which is wonderful, however, I don't know that everyone needs 3 Mother's Day cards. So what we did was we took the beautiful and we did Hello Beautiful, and then you could do anything on the inside. Here we did birthday wishes, but if you wanted a Mother's Day card, you could make it for Mother's Day. So that is card number 2 in our this or that game. Card number 3, so here is our final card from Paper Pumpkin class. This is the thank you card. And our alternative option, let's see, let's take the instructions out of here, is this. This is our that card. Which one do you prefer, this or that? So this card features a pop-up thank you and then all of the panels behind. Then you flip it over and you've got your space for writing. Okay, so this is obviously a thank you card, but that's your option. And then it just sits up. But it is still mailable because you fold these flaps back. So there's our this or that for card number 3. The most bright and colorful part of the whole class, though, the whole kit, I should say, the Paper Pumpkin kit, was our envelope. So we weren't going to let that go to waste. So here's your first this or that. So now with this card, we had to get a little creative because there really were almost no supplies left from... We got a little tuckage going on there. Each of the hummingbirds were utilized in the alternative cards. We did have just a few little pieces, so like this piece and this banner piece, that we didn't use. So we had to bring in some elements that were not part of the kit. So this beautiful, the beautiful comes out of the coordinating die set. The hummingbird is Mary Lemke loves all the that's. That is wonderful, Mary. I'm glad you like it. The hummingbird is the stamped image. I used the watercolor pencils and blender pens to color that in, and then, you know, just a couple extra pieces that we'll put in the kit. But there's a wow to this card too, and it's that it is a gift card holder. So you can put a gift card in there, which I think is so fun. So here are your paper pumpkin supplies. And then if you purchase the kit, you can make these cards out of those supplies. So bear in mind that you will be deconstructing all of these cards. So if you want, you can either purchase to make one set of these and 2 sets of these, or you can scrap the paper pumpkin and say, nope, I like the fun folds. I want 3 sets instead. So that is up to you. The registration form will allow you to make that choice. But do know you cannot make these cards without the paper pumpkin. So if you do not subscribe to Paper Pumpkin, hi, I'd love for you to register through me. But at this point, you cannot get this kit. It was in March, so you had to subscribe by March 11th. So you would be looking ahead to the future classes, which it's a surprise. You don't know what it's going to be. We do have some sneak peeks and stuff like that, but you don't actually know what the cards are or what the alternatives are. So you have to invest in knowing that we are going to make beautiful things with the cards regardless of what the supplies come in the box. So, woohoo! Lori likes all 3 that's as well. Woohoo! I'm so glad you guys like them. I think they are stunning. Marcia, thank you. We're all on the same page. I'm not going to say there was anything wrong with the paper pumpkin cards, but I do think the supplies are really accentuated when we add all of that beautiful, bright, colorful cardstock. And honestly, we used the card bases as the quote-unquote DSP, but there really wasn't a lot of fun and excitement to it. So basically, you'll see the DSP here. We used a sponge dauber to make it Old Olive, and then we used Old Olive to stamp on top of the DSP to give it some pattern, some texture, some things other than gray. Then we did the same thing here with this pretty peacock layer. So we used sponge daubers to make the pretty peacock color and then stamped the other image on it. You can guess we did the same thing here, and we took, this is probably the best we've got 4 panels of it, but you can see here where it's not covered. We took the background, we took the card base, we made it pool party with sponge daubers, and then we stamped the imagery in pretty peacock. Marcia, don't quote me on it exactly, but I'm pretty certain the add-on kit to make 2 sets is $20, and the add-on kit to make 3 sets, I want to say, is $25. Unless it's 30, because 2 sets being 20 would make me think 3 sets is 30, but that information will be in the registration form, but it's also going to be, Chris is doing her April showcase this afternoon, which is going to be at 2:30 Central Time. So that is what you'll get in the add-on kit. It'll be all of the cardstock, all of the die cuts, the embossing will be done, and all of the pieces will be there, including the ribbon for your choice of 2 or 3 sets of this, okay? So we don't know, this is only the second time we're offering this altered and edited style card class. And in doing that, we are still kind of figuring things out. So like I said, the last time we gave you the opportunity to make one of the cards and then have 2 of the alternatives. Maybe we were a little more impressed with that paper pumpkin kit, and this time we decided, hey, let's give them the option to do all 3 alternatives if that is what they want. So you have that option as well. So no matter what, you're going to get beautiful cards. You will get a PDF tutorial as well. So if you only purchase the 2 and later change your mind and wish you had the 3rd, you could use the PDF tutorial to cut your own, but then you, yes, would need your own dies and your own embossing folders and such like that. So we've got some options. We'd love your feedback. If you have, a desire to let us know what you think you'd like to see from future paper pumpkin classes, whether you like the ability to do one of the paper pumpkin class as is, as in like you're taking it out of the red box and making it just like the instructions tell you, or if you like, hey, these alternatives are always amazing. We want to always just do that. You got to let us know. We don't know. We'll start to get an idea based on seeing, hey, people are ordering the 2 or they're always ordering the 3. So your preferences will show that way. But let us know. We love to hear from you. We love to know that you guys are enjoying this. I am loving this feedback. Thank you so, so much. Are those 2-tone cardstock that you used? Great question, Marcia. No. I'll switch you back down. We utilized our normal cardstock, and then we also utilized, here we have the envelope, so we cut the envelope piece down, and then over here on these pieces we utilized the card base. So I'm just going to flip this over. We utilized the blank card bases and cut them into the appropriate sized pieces. So here we have 2 pieces, here and there. Here we have just the 1 piece that we used here. And then on this card, we utilized 1, 2, 3, 4 panels of it. And like I said, we utilized sponge daubers, although on this one, because there was a lot more space to cover, we did use a blending brush. And then we utilized the stamps from the kit to stamp on. So that's how we did that. And I'm so blown away. Mary Lemke, how do we order? So I am going to come back to this video and drop the link to the pre-registration. I don't know if that's even going to be helpful at this point, but I can put the link to the pre-registration in the description, or most importantly, when Chris does her April showcase tonight, or this afternoon, I should say, at 2:30, after she's done with that, she releases the link to the April registration Google form. April's got a lot going on here at Cards by Christine. She's got, bundle class week, blah, 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 all sorts of different things. But one of the things in that registration form, I actually just put it in yesterday, towards the bottom is going to be the cover photo. It'll have my picture, Chris's picture, and these 4 cards. It'll also say Fluttering Garden, Paper Pumpkin Altered and Edited. Right there is where you're going to say, yes, I want it. And it will give you the option for whether you want 2 kits or 3 kits. Okay? So let us know what you are after. We will get your kits then. I ordered the cardstock. I need to get the stuff all kitted up, cut, dyed, embossed, and kitted up. They will come with the April packages. So I know you got your paper pumpkin in the mail. You're sitting there, you're holding it. Just hang tight, because we're in the same boat as you. We get it in the mailbox in the middle to middle end. Like, I think it's usually around the 17th or something that it comes in my mailbox. That's the first time we get to see it and touch it. Then we have to design all the cards, hit you with them now when we're live, and then now I need to also prep and kit up. So like there's a lot of work that goes between when we get the box and when we get it in the shipments. So I got a lot of work to do, and I hope Mom is ready and she's my helper. I have one and it's my mom. So it's between Mom and I. We're going to try to get all of this pulled together to be in the April shipments. So thank you so much for your feedback. Continue to give us feedback on what you like and how you would like to see these classes come to you. But I appreciate you all so much, and look forward to you guys getting these kits. Now, I will say, I will do a class now. So we just did the paper pumpkin class. We just made the paper pumpkin cards, but I will also have another class on putting together the alternative cards. So you'll see that in April. So in the meantime, thank you so much for joining. I am so ecstatic that you are happy to be doing these classes with me and that you are looking to be able to do more and more and more of them. So that's amazing. So we'll catch you in a couple of hours this afternoon for the showcase. And then in the meantime, we're sending lots of sunshine, love, big hugs, rainbows, and bright skies your way.